Alright, today we're going to take a look at graphing using intercepts. First, going to take a look at our vocabulary. The first one is an x-intercept, and it's the point where the graph of a linear function, meaning a line, crosses the x-axis. At this point, the value of x, its value of x and y is 0. And as an ordered pair, that's our x value, comma 0. Because keep in mind, an ordered pair goes x, comma y, so it's the x value when y equals 0. The y-intercept is a point where the graph of a linear function crosses the y-axis, and this is the value of y when x equals 0. So that ordered pair will be 0 because x is 0 and then that y value. Alright, first we're going to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the graph. Now, in order to find these, we're going to use that basic vocabulary to find the x-intercept. We're going to substitute 0 in for y. So the first one will get negative 5x plus 7 times 0 equals 35. Once again, it's the value of x when y is 0. So that's why we're substituting in 0 in for y. So now we solve. So we get negative 5x. That will be 0. So we'll get negative 5x equals 35. Divide both sides by negative 5. So x equals negative 7. So our x-intercept here, keep in mind it's the x value when y is 0. So our x-intercept is negative 7, 0. Our y-intercept is the value of y when x equals 0. So we're going to substitute 0 in for x. And once again, we're going to use parentheses around what we substitute in. So we'll get negative 5 times 0 plus 7y equals 35. Negative 5 times 0 is 0. That cancels out. So we end up getting 7y equals 35. Divide both sides by 7. So we get y equals 5. So our y-intercept is 0. Once again, it's the value of y when x is 0. So our ordered pair is 0, comma 5. Alright, I want you to hit pause and then work, or actually let's take a look at this. Alright, so the second one, the x and y-intercept, once again, so our x-intercept is going to be the value of x when y is 0. So we'll get 0 equals 1/4 x plus 5. We're solving for x, so we need to subtract 5 from both sides. So we get negative 5 equals 1/4 x. Now here there are two approaches you can take. We have the coefficient of x, the number in front of x is 1/4. So since we're multiplying by a fraction, we can multiply by the inverse, and that will divide that fraction to 1. So instead of multiplying by 1/4, I can multiply by 4 over 1, the reciprocal. So simply switching the numerator and denominator. And I can use that process on both sides. Now once again, 4 over 1 is 4. So I'm just going to write 4 on the side because that's the same as 4 over 1. So 4 times negative 5 is negative 20 equals, here the 1/4 times 4 over 1 is 4 over 4, which is 1. So negative 20 equals x. So our x-intercept is negative 20, comma 0. Because once again, it's the value of x when y is 0. Now to find our y-intercept, we're going to substitute 0 in for x. So we'll get y equals 1/4 times 0 plus 5. 1/4 times 0 is 0, so we're left with y equals 5. So our y-intercept is 0, comma 5. Alright, let's take a look at the next problem. And here we're going to identify the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the graph. So keep in mind the x-intercept is the value of, or we're going to look at it as the value of x when it crosses the x-axis. So our x-axis is horizontal. So the value of x when this line crosses is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. It's at that point with the star. Our y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and it's going to be that y value. So that value is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. And on problem 4, the x-intercept here, we cross the x-intercept when x is 0. And our y-intercept, we cross the y-intercept when y is 0 as well. My face is covering that, so let's put that right there. So the y-intercept is 0. So this one, the x and the y-intercept is at the same place, so it is at the origin at 0, 0. All right, so we're going to graph the function using the x and y intercept. We're going to label the points where the line crosses the axes. So to find that x-intercept, once again, we're going to substitute 0 in for y. So we get 2x equals 6. So we get x equals 3. So that ordered pair is at 3, 0. And then to find our y-intercept, we're going to substitute in 0 in for x. So we get 2 times 0 plus 3y equals 6. So we get 3y equals 6, divide by 3. Oops. So y equals 2. So our y-intercept here is at 0, 2. So at 0, 2, we have our y-intercept, and we have our x-intercept at 3, 0. And once again, to draw this line using our x and y intercepts, we're going to be connecting those dots, and we're going to make sure that line fully extends the parameters of the graph. And arrows at the end. All right, and that deleted, but just real quick, there are those 2 points. All right, let's try another one. All right, so our x and y intercepts, our x-intercept, once again, is the value of x when y is 0, so substitute 0 in for y. So we get negative 3x equals 6, divide both sides by negative 3. So we get x equals negative 2. So our x-intercept is negative 2, 0. Our y-intercept is going to be our y value when x is 0. So we substitute 0 in for x. Once again, that cancels out. So you get 2y equals 6. Divide both sides by 2. So y equals 3. So we have the y-intercept at 0, 3. And then once again, you're going to connect your 2 points with a straight line. And you're going to go to the edges of the graph provided. Make sure you have arrows at the end there. So that's how we graph the function using the x and y intercept. I will see you in class tomorrow. Hope you have a fabulous evening.